not everybody is on the same page about this. Republicans in the Freedom Caucus say this bill is a non-starter.
Simply put, this isn't a win for the American people. It's a win for Washington. And I didn't come to Washington to maintain the swamp status quo or to rubber stamp some fiscally irresponsible deal. My constituents didn't send me here to exacerbate the debt, burden future generations, capitulate to the establishment, turn a blind eye to the less destructive policies, or surrender the fight to eliminate woke, weaponized, and wasteful spending. They sent me here to fight for them, to fight to restore fiscal sanity to this broken government, and to fight for the future of our republic. I'm a hard no on this fiscally irresponsible insanity, and I urge more courageous and fiscally responsible Republicans to join me in that hard no.
All right, that's Congressman Andrew Clyde of Georgia. He's also a member of the Freedom Caucus, and he joins me now to discuss this. Congressman Clyde, you heard your colleague, Congressman Flood, there, and he says that it cuts $2.1 trillion, this debt deal does. I'm wondering out loud, sir, where does that money come from? I don't see $2.1 trillion of savings anywhere in this proposal. What is he talking about?
Well, I don't see $2.1 trillion of savings either. I see $12 billion of savings in the first year. And after that, you've got then a 1% increase in spending. And what he's talking about are if we hold to the suggested caps for the next 4 years, but those are not caps that are required. There's no mechanism to ensure that we hold to that spending. They're just targets. So to say that there's $2.1 trillion of actual savings is not accurate. There is not.
Right.
In fact, what this bill does is it allows for unlimited spending.
It's aspirational. And you know what? It's like, I would really love to save $100 this month, but I'm going to spend $300. So, I mean, that's exactly what this debt deal, I think, actually truly represents. Now, if Speaker McCarthy does manage to get this bill passed, relying on Democrats to get it over the finish line, what are the next steps for the Freedom Caucus, do you think?
Well, I'll tell you that there were over 40 Democrats, I think actually over 50 Democrats that voted on the rule in order to get the rule to pass. And I was one of the Republicans of the 29 that voted against the rule. But if this bill comes to the floor tonight, which it will, and gets passed, then we've got a problem. We have a serious problem. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But this was definitely, the way this bill came about was a breach of our agreement in January, and so we're going to have to take a serious look at our next steps.
Congressman, I've just got to ask you, this country is moving headlong into a point to where we're going to be paying $1 trillion in interest on the national debt because of profligate, irresponsible spending that you already mentioned, and rising interest rates. That's one of every $5 the government is lifting out of the pockets of American citizens. Sir, that's unacceptable. That's way too high. How come more of your colleagues, even on the Democrat side, I mean, I'm assuming some of them can do math, why don't they look at that as equally unacceptable?
Well, that's one of the problems in Washington. People are addicted to spending, and that's one of the reasons I came here, was to be fiscally responsible. This bill is not fiscally responsible. Having an unlimited, from here to infinity and beyond, debt ceiling is not responsible. In fact, this should be called the Fiscal Irresponsibility Act. We have no idea how much we're actually going to spend. The estimates are an additional $4 trillion. I think it's going to be much higher than that, because they're going to take advantage of the ability in this bill to eliminate, to waive the pay-go restrictions that might bring some sanity, but there's a waiver in it. So there's not going to be any fiscal sanity for the next 19 months. So we got serious problems. Yep. We are on a track to financial ruin with this bill.
Government never spends less than it is given. It always spends more, at least as long as I've been alive. Congressman Clyde, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it.